What's shaking? I'm here. I'm gonna do bass video. I want to do a bass video, even though it's March. It's the 16th. March Madness officially starts tomorrow. Get your brackets in. But bass season here doesn't start till I think it's usually the third or fourth weekend in June. So really, I got a long time to think about this, and because I got months before I can fish for bass. But I want to do a bass video because there's a few things that I think are kind of nuts. I think are kind of over the top when it comes to bass fishing. I see a lot of stuff on Twitter, on Facebook. You see bass videos on YouTube, all social media. And people are going apeshit with the bass tackle. Now, I'm not a bass expert, and I'm talking largemouth bass. I don't really do a whole lot of smallmouth bass fishing. I don't even do a whole lot of largemouth bass fishing, but I'm talking primarily about largemouth. And so a few times a year, I go to my aunt and uncle's cottage, and great largemouth bass fishing. So, anybody who knows me, who's seen my Facebook, consecutives every year. Consecutive largemouth bass, decent ones, not trophy 8-pounders or anything like that, but 3-4 pounders, and maybe a little bit smaller, but 3-4 pounds is pretty good for that lake. And so I usually catch them on something like this. This is my go-to combo. Just an ugly stick with my mono on here, and just my regular old Fluger, real nothing fancy, nothing expensive. And I'm all about the live bait, but the one thing, they don't call me dart frogger for nothing. I got a soft spot for frogs. I've bred frogs. I've caught dart frogs in Peru. And so I got a soft spot for frogs. So I can't bring myself to use live frogs as bait. I just can't do it. I don't know, maybe they're too high on the evolutionary ladder. I don't know what to tell you, but I can't put a hook through a frog. It breaks my heart. So that's where I draw the line with live bait. I don't do frogs. So what I will use, something like this usually, hula popper, nothing super fancy or anything like that, but they work. And you can see that on my Facebook. Even here you can see I got my mono mainline on here. I don't even use a leader. Here's another one I'll use. I don't really think the color matters. I think it's just a matter of getting the lure in the right spot. But so what I'll do typically is I'll get on the canoe, and I'll just there's all kinds of reeds and bulrushes coming up around. Doesn't matter what time of day. And I'll just kind of cast. I'll cast it like right towards the edge, and usually with the first 2 pops, if I don't get anything, I'm not gonna get anything from my experience. That's most of the day, and then in the evening, the sun starts going down, the bugs start coming out, and then I can cast it pretty much anywhere from my uncle's dock, any direction, middle of the water. It doesn't even need to be any lily pads or bulrushes or anything. It just can be right out in the middle there, and I'll get some nice fish. And so that's what I'm doing. And it's not uncommon for me to get these caught in the bulrushes, but usually what will happen is I'll just kind of gently I'll paddle myself towards towards the weeds, and then I'll pull on the rod gently, reel it in, and then I can get close and I can unhook this thing from the woody bulrushes. And that doesn't happen too often, a couple times in the weekend tops, but I'm usually pretty good at getting it, right where I want it to be. So, and that's my point. I think I do pretty well for the amount of time I spend doing it. But it's like, you see the dudes with, and what got me started with this video is the thing I saw on Facebook was they were freaking out about, like, 14-pound fluorocarbon, they got an 18-pound bass, oh my god. And it's like, dude, I catch fucking, and I've never got an 8-pound bass, but, like, it's 14-pound line, man. Like, I was fighting a tarpon, an 80-pound tarpon on 20-pound line, man. You don't need to go crazy with the braid and these expensive reels and stuff. I just got this. This is nothing fancy at all, man. It's a $60 reel, $70 reel tops, and you know, you don't have to go apeshit. But here's what I want to do, and this is kind of the point, just to prove the point. I don't know if it's just to me, because nobody really watches my shit anyway. It doesn't really matter. I just do it for fun. But what I want to do is, I'm going to take this rod. This is my travel pack rod. I brought it down to Florida with me, and I was catching pinfish with it. But it's really light compared to what most of these bass dudes are using, I think. You know, it's nothing nothing special at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this. I think instead of using this reel, I think I might even go smaller. I think that'd be a good pick. Go, some way smaller than that. Maybe like a 3,000 size or whatever. I don't know. Just something smaller. And I think I'm going to go crazy. I think I'm going to go 6-pound test. Maybe 8 tops. But I'm going to go 6. And even that's going to be double the weight of the fish that I'm going to be catching. But compared to these dudes that are, sporting their 30-pound braid to catch these 4-pound bass, I think 6 to 8-pound test mono is going to do the trick. And I think make the point just fine that you don't need to have you don't need to spend all kinds of dough. You don't need a $30,000 bass boat to catch some half decent largemouth. So yeah, I'm gonna go in the canoe. I'm gonna use this little rod, this little itty bitty rod, and throw a small reel on it. I might even go smaller than 3,000. I don't know. We'll see what's available at the store. What's not gonna fall apart the first couple times I use it. So the bottom line is, I think I'm gonna try and show these braid sporting bass fishermen up. I'm gonna do it real guy style. Well, as close to real guy as you can get. I mean, I'm casting this stupid thing out. So this isn't real guy shit. But what are you gonna do? But that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to wait till June, like I said, but it's gonna happen. And so that's the plan. You got a couple months to get yourselves ready, and I got a couple months to get myself ready. I got other stuff to fish for in the meantime. I mean, really, there's a whole lot going on right now. Spring, we're getting a pretty early spring, I think. Snow's already gone. Doesn't look like a whole lot's going to come back, which is a big deal for this time of year. Usually we have snow into April, sometimes a little bit in May even. But I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do some carp fishing, just because, I'm not like a carp guy, I'm not a bass guy, I'm not an anything guy. I just like to fish. And around here, it's the carp that are going to give you the biggest fight. In the rivers around here, we're looking at, like, if you get your 2-pound fish in the rivers or little lakes around in the general area here, you're doing pretty good. So this isn't really a fishing hotspot at all. So this is my go-to combo, and this is what I'm gonna catch the carp on. But even what I'm gonna do, this is 12-pound mono, and I use that because you're carp fishing, you're fishing on the bottom. So you're gonna get snags. I get big hunks of wood, and I gotta, gently. You can get them out of the water, no problem. But I think I'm even gonna go lighter. I think I'm gonna go down to 8 pound test for this carp fishing, just because. Why not? It's sportier. So, yeah, getting ready to run that dog out there. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a bit of a wait, but I'm gonna make it happen. Bass, largemouth bass on this and 6 pound mono. Wait for it. I'll make it happen. Run that dog.